Welcome to Men Are the Prize, the podcast. It's me, Harvey, your host. What's good, men? How you doing? How's the week, the day, the hour, the last minute? How are you treating yourself? Are you taking care of yourself? Are you making room for yourself in everything that you're doing? Are you making sure that you are respected, that you are, what's the word, that you're being evaluated, that whatever's happening, it's to your benefit? Because that's important when you're a man in this world. We take care of others, but make sure you're taking care of yourself. Another great episode, another wonderful guest. I was thinking when I do this podcast, I like to bring men in. We just talk about anything, but I wanted to bring in men during this season, men who don't do typical man type things. I'm one of those people. I'm a stay at home dad of four. You know that. That's not typical. That's not manly. But I want to get other men in because masculinity is not just one thing, it is different definitions. Every man has a different way of being masculine. And I've got another man to bring in today, and he's definitely masculine in a multitude of ways. Let's bring in my guest. Here he comes. Let me find him. It is Dr. Andre Baptiste. Welcome to the show. How you doing today, sir?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I am well. Thank you for doing this. I was on TikTok with my wife. My wife is a registered dental hygienist, and we were looking on TikTok. And I think she follows you and saw you. And I'm like, I like the fact that he's giving some dental information and stuff. And then I dove deeper in and then saw the farming stuff that you do. And I'm like, I like that guy. I like that he does some things that are educational, but are not typical. And I would be lucky if I could, maybe I get to talk to him. So I reached out. You reach back. I'm like, it's a good day. So I'm so excited to talk to you, and thank you for giving me of your time. I really appreciate it.
Thank you for having me.
No problem. So I read a bio. I printed it out. I didn't need to print it out. You were real quick with your definition. So I'll read some bios and people go on to it. But for Dr. Andre, it is I am a social media gardener in the Orlando area and a local orthodontist. I'm like, all right, quick and to the point. So now, two things. So one, gardening, and you may know him from TikTok, and he does a lot of gardening. He talks a lot, gives a lot of tips, talks about growing stuff, but he's an orthodontist. We were just talking about the fact that while I thought there was like 4 Black orthodontists in the country, he's in a town where there's like 6 of his own. So I was wrong about that. But what I typically ask my guests after I read their bio is, as a man, what is it like hearing your accolades read back to you? Because typically it's a bio. I went to college, I got this degree, I won this award, I've done all this stuff. But for what you've done so far with life, how do you feel with the accomplishments that you have so far?
You know what? One, a little shocked. Like in high school, I would have probably been voted least likely to succeed. So any sort of measure of success for me is a bit shocking. But I kind of feel like I won. Like I feel like I won. I feel like I'm winning at life. A lot of it is being born in the right place at the right time and being having a place with opportunities and things like that. But I see a lot of people who have won at life, but they don't realize they won. And they're still just pounding away, and like at some point, the game's over. You already won the game. Like like enjoy your life. And that's why I try to do it. And I've tried to do that my whole life. I've tried to enjoy every part of my life all the way through. And when I was younger, I probably enjoyed too much of it. That's probably why I was probably not successful early on. But eventually you figure things out somewhat.
That's good. I hear you. Let me ask you, how do you know that you're winning in life right now?
Well, I don't worry about where my next meal comes from. I don't worry if I'm going to have a roof over my head.
Right.
I've got 2 great kids. I've got a great wife. I'm healthy. I think those things alone are a win right there.
Agreed. You're right. And what I asked that because I think it's interesting what we find is successful or what we consider winning at life. It's really subjective because what you consider winning at life is things that you talk about. They seem so, yeah, I know I'm going to eat. I know I'm going to go to my bedroom and, my wife's going to be there. I got a TV to watch, things like this. Other people are like, wow, you what? You know you're eating. You've got a bedroom. You've got a door. So, and seriously, life, what we consider success is like absolute, like really winning for other people and maybe third worlds and the things that we have that we don't always appreciate.
Right.
And I'm glad that you do appreciate the fact that, we could sit here and we could just talk about life when there's other people who may be listening and we're like, wow, I wish I had that. Or I wish I had the opportunity to get that. So I'm glad that you are able to appreciate life, enjoy it, revel in it. Not everybody has the benefit of this, right?
That's
So
true. 100%.
we got to be happy with this. All right. If this is the first time you are watching or listening to this podcast, welcome. This is a space for men to be open, vulnerable, emotional. I talk about it all because we men don't talk enough. So I'm here to get men talking, and it's really about anything. I'm as vulnerable as I can be. So if this is the first time, if I just start giving out information, you're welcome. Like my blood type, O positive, whatever. Just you learn that stuff you didn't really know, whatever, right?
Well, I'm pretty much an open book, so I'm
You
not
know,
really a secretive person. People, all my followers on social media, they know all about me. They know everything.
that's cool. That's good. That's good. Being comfortable with yourself is good. And the fact that you're one of these people that I'm going to have on, this is a great start to watching this podcast because we're open. If you're a man and you're fighting it, don't fight it. Be open. It's good. It's good. This podcast is called Men Are the Prize. If you noticed, if you see the shirt, P.R.I.Z.E. I take 4 of the letters in the word prize, and each of those letters represent a word. Those words represent characteristics that I think are good for men. And we're going to talk about them. The first letter in the word prize is P. Purpose is the word. Andre, what is your purpose?
It's funny because I've been asked that many times. And, I'm not a spiritual person. So I don't believe that, you're here for any particular reason, right?
Right.
My only goal in life is ultimately, leave things better than I found it. Purpose, I'm a scientist. I have a biology degree. I'm a scientist. If you ask me my purpose, my purpose is to make more of my genes. That's my purpose.
Okay.
But we have developed a consciousness and self-awareness, and we've sort of almost outsmarted our purpose to the point where we can make sort of more rational decisions and more sort of theoretical decisions or philosophical decisions about how we want to live our lives. And it's not so much about just creating the most copies of ourselves. So, in terms of my purpose, my conscious purpose is to make the world better than I found it. So I would say that would be my final answer.
Okay. All right. So, well, then let's expound. How are you making the world a better place right now?
I think one of the most underrated attributes of people is kindness. And I think just by being kind to every person you encounter, you have no idea what kind of butterfly effect that has throughout that person's life, and then the next person. So whenever I have a chance, I always try to help somebody. If I see someone in need of help, I'm gonna help them. I was in Mexico. Wino was trying to buy some liquor. He's in front of me. He didn't have enough coins. All right, so I gave him a couple pesos so he could get his bottle. Right, that was his happiness at the moment, and hopefully made him a little happier. But I do community gardens. I'm in schools pretty much every week. I'm in a school somewhere. Right now, I have 2 community gardens I work with the kids. We sponsor a lot of stuff through Permaculture Life and also through Baptiste Orthodontics. So we try to give back to the community as much as possible. And just outside of that, I just try to be kind to people.
That's cool. That's excellent. Let's talk about the gardening. Tell us your story. How did you get into gardening? When did this become a passion of yours?
Well, it started about 9 years ago now, I guess, with a mango tree. We moved into a new home, and my old home, I wanted to have a fruit tree, and the homeowner association said, no, you can't have fruit trees. And meanwhile, the lady on the board had a fruit tree in her backyard. We found out later on. But anyway, so we moved to this house and we had some space. And all right, let me plant a mango tree. I didn't know nothing about mango trees. I didn't know there were different kinds of mango trees. Mango tree, bam. And I got a mango, and I'm like, you know what? if I plant 2 mango trees, I'll get twice as many mangoes. So I plant another one, and then a lychee tree, and then an avocado tree, and then now I've got over 100 fruit trees in the backyard, and
Nice.
that's sort of become a part of my life now. It's become a passion of mine. And 10 years ago, if you told me I'd be into gardening, I'd be like, "You're crazy." I'm a fisherman, and I just started hunting, bow hunting, and I played golf or basketball or table tennis, whatever. But gardening was not on my radar, and for it to become such a big part of my life now is crazy. And the whole social media thing started because me and my wife went out to dinner with another couple, and she had a garden, and she had gotten free boots, and because someone sent her free boots because she had like 4,000 followers on Instagram. And I was thinking, you know what? I got a big garden. I should be able to get free boots too. So the whole social media started as a quest to get free boots.
Did you say boots, like on your feet? Boots?
Boots.
Oh, okay. Okay. I wasn't sure if you were saying roots, but boots. I feel you.
Boots.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you wanted some red bottoms. I'm like, let me jump up on social media, and then all of a sudden you getting free shoes. I see how it works out. All
Okay. Well, I don't even know what red bottoms are.
right.
Red bottoms? Those fancy shoes or something?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 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 Those are. I think I've seen those. I don't know. I don't know. I've seen red bottom shoes. I think they mean something. I don't know. I just threw that joke out.
Okay.
Apparently not. It doesn't mean anything. But so from there, just looking to, maybe possibly get something, and it's led to you have over 600, 700, 800,000 followers. You're doing incredibly well with social media, right? So how did that kind of, attention change what you do? Did it change what you do at all? What do you do now with it? Is it more or less?
It's more now. It's definitely more. It has changed it because I have to be more sort of deliberate about it. I have to more, focused about it because now there's people paying attention, right? And there's always going to be people that are haters or disgruntled people. So,
Of
I
course.
have to make sure that I'm correct in the things I say. I have to make sure I say them right. I have to make sure because there's always going to be someone there to correct you if you get things wrong, or even
Yep.
if you get things right, there will be people there to correct you in the
Hmm.
opposite direction again. But yeah, and I started an online school as well.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it's on school.com, and basically it's Grow with Andre, and it's a subscription based thing where you can get into a bunch of tutorials and modules that are not on TikTok or Instagram or YouTube, and there's weekly calls, where we have weekly calls as well. And also, I started the brand Permaculture Life, which is a brand of sustainably sourced apparel for gardening and gardening tools. And we sell some seeds and some teas and things like that on the website as well. But everything's from the garden. The apparel, this is made from recycled materials. We have a lot of shirts and stuff made from bamboo and hemp. So it's pretty cool.
All right. Well done. Robert, that's amazing. Another reason I wanted to talk to you, obviously, and I mentioned that earlier, is the fact that, dentistry, you're an orthodontist. So I talk to therapists, I talk to, I guess, general physicians, and I like to talk about just the history of African Americans in terms of the medical field. And there's this general natural fear of doctors and nurses because of our history and such. Dentistry in general, just by itself, I don't care what color the dentist is, we scared of pulling up into the dentist's office no matter what. Just first, let me get into that. How do you assuage the fear of a child, an adult, anybody who's getting into your chair?
Well, first off, I'm an orthodontist, so I do
Right.
braces and aligners. So there's no
Okay.
needles. So we don't really have the same
Hmm.
level of fear
Okay.
that other
Okay.
people have, but we do have people that are fearful still. But I feel like I am good at sort of talking people down, and I'm good at reasoning people out. Even the youngest kid, because I can relate to people pretty much almost anybody because I have a wide range of interest, right?
Right.
So, I can talk to a kid about cartoons all day, so, I
Okay.
can talk to a grown up about, the Bible, or, so I have a wide range of things that I can find common ground with somebody. And when you find common ground with somebody, it becomes a lot easier for them to trust you.
Okay. Okay. Agreed. Yeah. I remember long time ago I had braces. So I remember that feeling and putting that on, tightening it up and having to go every few months. And I don't like that feeling. But I guess it wasn't that scary, but I
No.
know at times going in there when you even getting a regular cleaning and such and the needle and all that stuff can be a little it can be a little scary. But I feel like if I went to see you, I would be cool. We'd be comfortable, you know. So
You know what? I tell my patients, or I tell people when I do my lives on the dental channel, I tell
mm,
people, there's three things you want to find from a dentist or a doctor, right? First, find someone you like. Like, I mean, like personally, right? Someone that if you could hang out with them, you would hang out with them, right? Two, find someone that will listen to you, someone that will let you talk and will hear what you have to say. And three, someone you trust. And the trust comes a little bit later. But if you have those things, you're going to be fine.
that is good information to know. I think that's a good little bit that you gave there that I'm going to use separately, but thank you for that. And it's important. And a lot of that, when I talk to therapists, it's a similar thing when you're looking for somebody to talk to, somebody you relate to, somebody who's going to let you talk. It's a lot of the same thing. So you should really follow that in any way when you have somebody serving your health. It's a good way to do that. So thanks for that information. And that makes a lot of sense. Um, the next letter in the word prize is R. The word is resilience. Can you think of something that has happened in your life? Something tough, because we've all had something that we've dealt with, like something hard that happened to you, where dealing with it, you discovered you had a resilience you didn't know you had?
You know what? As an adult, I don't think I've really had any trials, anything super difficult to deal with. And that's relative to what people deal with, right? Like people deal
Right.
with real problems. Like I've dealt with a bunch of first world problems, right? But
Right.
I've not dealt with real problems, so I can't really say. Like my father passed away. Maybe I think it's got to be 15, 16 years ago now. And that was a thing.
Mhm.
Um, as we get older, those things are going to happen. And it's not something that every other human on Earth doesn't go through, right?
Right.
So I can't really say that I've been through a lot. Outside of childhood, I can't say I've been through much.
Okay. Well, that's good.
Also, I'm
Life has its
really boring on that one.
well, I guess no, that's an honest answer. I mean, some people have gone through a lot and it's kind of framed the way they live their lives, the way they see relationships and stay away from them or whatever. But you've been okay. It's been, it's gonna happen. I'm not gonna be like, oh, I can't believe nothing bad's ever happened to you, or you're nothing you want to talk about. But we're not gonna do that. We're gonna
No,
say
well,
if they
plenty of stuff happened as a
right,
child,
of course.
as an
Exactly.
adult. It's
Right.
been
So
great.
yeah, your adult years have been good, which is wonderful, and I'm happy for you. To a degree, I feel like I'm the same way. I mean, I'm married, 4 kids, living life. I haven't had any really bad things happen. Life happens, things happen, but nothing out of the ordinary, not something that my next door neighbor wouldn't deal with, that type of thing. These things happen to us all. How we deal with it is what's important. That's kind of how I get into it. Because being a man dealing with life is incredibly important because for men, at least in my opinion, being a man is being resilient all the time. We are bound, we are tasked with taking care of our spouse, our kids, our
Yeah.
family, our friends, our employees, and things don't work out the way we want them to. Things change, and I have to deal with this problem. So, being able to handle change, being able to handle a bad thing happening is just part of being a man and dealing with life.
Well, for me, a lot of it too is, I don't sweat the small things, and I
Mm,
consider all of them to be small things. So if everything's a small thing, then it all works out in the end. I'm very relaxed. I don't worry. I don't stress over things.
right,
There have been times where literally, money was super tight, owed tons of money to tons of people and all kinds of stuff. And nobody necessarily knew that things were that tight, but
right.
they were, and suck it up and roll through it.
Yeah. And that's good. And that's perspective. And perspective is important too. How the way you see life and how you deal with it. And that's good. I definitely know what you're talking about. I know that feeling. I'm going to skip the I. The next letter in the word prize is Z. The word is zeal. Enthusiastic devotion is what that is defined as. Now, we men, like I just mentioned, are here to take care of the world and the people around us. But typically, we are the last people we take care of. We don't take care of ourselves. A lot of men do. So we tend to not take care of our mental health, take care of ironically, if I'm talking to an orthodontist, we don't go to the doctor to get our physical done. We're not checking to see if we're diabetic or we have high blood pressure or hypertension. All these issues that we are way down on our list. So when I ask men, just ask Zeal, I ask men this: what do you do for you that is not for your partner, family, your children? Something that you do for you to make you feel better about life when life can get stressful, can get hard. What is your thing? What do you run to
Well,
when
I'll
you
tell you
need
what,
to feel better?
I'm probably not the right person to ask this question because I'm going to feel bad because I have so many things that I do for me. So I'm like, I go fishing, I go hunting, I play golf, I play basketball, I play table tennis, I go in the garden, I do
I
all
was
these.
thinking that. I was thinking that you garden, like you get away. That probably is really relaxing, isn't it?
I have a lot of things that I do for me, so I feel guilty. But all the time I meet a lot of guys. My wife's friends with their husbands. They go, "Hey, what do you do in your spare time, or what do you do for fun?" And they have no hobbies. They don't do anything. And I'm like, "What? Like, why are you even alive? Like, what are you living for?
Wow.
You have nothing to do. Like, there's nothing you want to do. Like, no, I just work and take care of the kids.
Yep.
What? Like, you gotta have stuff. You gotta have stuff to look forward to. Like, for me, my thing is life is all about having things to look forward to, right? Having a reason why you really want to wake up in the morning. And for me, it used to be like, I'd have a fishing trip in 2 months. Oh, I know I'm going offshore for 4 days in 2 months. I'm super excited, counting down every day. Or I'm going on a hunting trip, or I'm going on a golfing trip, or have a basketball game. I used to play twice a week. I have my basketball game on Monday, basketball game on Wednesday. I'm super excited about that. The great thing about gardening is every single day I can go down to the garden and something's going to be different down there. So now it's like I go to bed excited to get up the next day so I can get down to the garden. Like it's something to look forward to every single day, along with the other things that I already look forward to.
Okay. What's growing right now that you're excited about?
Well, I just planted rice, so I'm trying to grow some rice. My mangoes are starting to flower. There's papayas that are ripe. There's racks of bananas out there. Let's see what else. Got cabbage and tomatoes and stuff like that, and carrots and all that kind of regular stuff as well. The lychees are starting to flower a little bit. Um, yeah, that's pretty much it. I think there's always sugarcane down there and stuff like that too.
Oh wow. Okay. I mean, I imagine, are you and the family, are you guys eating what you grow? Is
A decent amount. Like I've been growing this Chinese lettuce for the first time this year, and we've been making Chinese lettuce salads like pretty much every night.
okay. Oh
Yeah.
wow, that's good. Excellent. The last letter in the word prize is E, and the word is expectation. What in I usually, let's just do it. In 5 years, where will Andre be? What will you be doing that's different now from now?
You know what? It's funny that you say 5 years because I have a definitive plan. In 5 years, I will be running a fishing charter in Mexico.
Mm. Wow. Okay, that's good. You know exactly what you want to do. That's what's okay.
Or I think I'll be starting. I'll be hopefully starting the charter by then.
Okay.
But I will be in Mexico primarily. If all works out and everything sort of goes according to plan, I will be living primarily in Mexico.
Okay. All right. So is it because of the fishing or because you like Mexico?
Both, both.
Okay.
Both.
Okay.
Yeah, so where I want to retire. We recently, we're in the process of finishing a house in Mexico right now.
Oh, that's good. That is excellent. All right. So the last letter in the word prize is that middle letter. It is I, and it doesn't represent a word. It represents who I'm talking to. So that's you. So if we take away the title of orthodontist, of social media gardener, of husband, father, friend, boss, all this stuff, when it's just you at your core, who are you, Andre?
I think I can best be defined as a regular person. And I say that because sometimes regular people are hard to find. People that will respond to a regular situation in a regular way are
Mhm.
hard to find sometimes. And sometimes I'll compliment someone in my mind by saying, you know what, that's a regular person. That's a regular person right there.
They may not take it as a I don't know. Like, what you calling me regular for? Who knows how somebody takes that.
Well, you know
But
what? Then you might not be that regular then.
there you go.
Taking it back.
That is a wonderful response. I appreciate that. Thanks for answering the questions in the prize mantra. Um, since you are an orthodontist, have you had any experiences where, and I'll be honest, I'm a black male. So for me, when I go to a doctor, when I take my kids, because since I'm the primary one here, when I take my kids to a dentist or a doctor, the responses I get because I'm the dad bringing the kid is always pretty interesting because I'm not the person that usually comes with the kids. It's usually mom.
Mhm.
What do you get responses from? I'm sure you have black patients and such. Is that a difference? Do you get a different response? Is it relief? It's like, oh God, I found somebody who looks like me, that type of thing. What kind of response do you get from your patients, their parents
A lot of
particularly?
times. A lot of times. I feel like early on it used to be a lot more shock and awe sort of thing. Early back in the early days.
Right,
Now, I think I've been doing this for 22 years, and the name's gone around town. People know who I am, so a lot of
right,
people come in knowing who I am already, or having heard of me. So they're not surprised to see that I'm a black orthodontist.
right.
Every now and then someone is a little bit surprised, I guess, but that sort of doesn't really happen very often anymore. But a lot of times people say, hey, I looked for you, I Googled you or whatever. I was looking for a black doctor, so that's why I came to you and such.
Okay. That's good. All right. Do you have connections with the other black orthodontists around? You said since there's a few around, is there like an orthodontist Wednesday night with my kids? Yeah, chill out and talk about teeth or something? I
I
don't know.
know them and I've spoken with them. I don't really hang around with dentists per se or doctors per se. Most of my friends are people that I've met through everyday walks of life. Like, might be a person I met on a golf course. It might be someone who was a patient of mine. Like, actually, a number of my friends were past patients or guys that I played ball with. So very few of my friends are doctors.
Okay. Okay. All right. You probably don't have that much time to hang out with these people. You're busy with all your hobbies.
You know
You
what?
got stuff to do.
There's a lot of hours in a day. I tell people that all the time. There's a lot of hours in a day. Like starting the beginning of January, I started working out. So I've been going to the gym at 5:30 every morning,
Mm,
uh, and doing about 45 minutes or so in the gym, and coming home. And if I have time, I get in the garden a little bit, then go to work, and you know, and then after work, do whatever we got to do. But there's a lot of hours in a day, so I have time to hang out. I have time to go on trips. I have time to do all kinds of stuff.
all right. Well,
And my
that's
kids
good.
are out of the house now too. My kids are in college, so
Oh,
that yeah, that definitely.
okay. Oh, that's a big thing. So you don't have to like be sitting in the house and watching people. Your kids are out and about. That's good. That's
Right.
good. Kids following your footsteps?
No. Well, my oldest one is thinking about maybe. He runs track for Georgia Tech. He's on track scholarship,
Okay.
and he is doing psychology, but he's taking the prerequisites to go to dental school if that sort of is what he wants to do. And then my youngest one is on an academic scholarship at the University of Miami, and he
Okay.
is studying marine biology.
Ah, excellent. Okay. All right. Well, officially, thanks for answering the questions in the prize mantra. Two more questions that I ask, and they're the typical podcast questions, we have to ask and attempt to get and try to get deep. So my first question is, what are you afraid of that you can not control?
Probably death. Probably
Yeah.
death, I'd say. Like, um, yeah, like there's just so much to live for. Like I feel like, and not being a spiritual person, I feel like, this life is super precious, and it's the only one we have. And, you got to make the most of it. That's why, I've always tried to live my life all the way through. Some people like work, 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 work. I'll get it when I'm 70, I'll retire, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm trying to enjoy every single moment of every single day because it's precious.
Okay. What are you afraid of that you can control?
Probably failure. Um, you know, like I said, I am probably just as surprised as most people at my level of success in business and such. And sometimes, you have that imposter syndrome, like, have I been like getting lucky this long? Do I really know what I'm doing out here? Like,
Mhm.
did I just flip a coin and it landed on heads like 50 times in a row? Like, like is it just that? Um, something you wonder, like, is someone gonna like be like, yeah, you really don't know nothing or something? I don't know. Like, yeah, so that would probably be my biggest fear that I guess I can control to some degree is or maybe just not putting enough in, maybe not putting enough effort into something and not um, getting it done all the way, or not sort of finishing out these last 5 years in the manner that I need to finish them out in order to have the life that I want to have in 5 years.
Okay. All right. Most men answer that question the same answer, not fulfilling my potential, not doing what I should. And just, I can accomplish this, but if I don't do it, if I fail, that's something I'm afraid of. That's something a lot of men kind of mention.
The funny thing is, I've never really tried to like maximize my potential. I feel like there's like I feel like you have to have a bit of a Kobe mindset to like want to like maximize your potential. Like I just want to get enough of my potential out that I can get to the finish line, right? Okay, like
Okay, okay,
I don't need to
okay.
get one last drop out of the orange, right? I
I
just want
like
to get
that.
a good amount of it.
Right. You want to win. You don't care. I don't know. I hear it as I just want to win. Some
Yeah,
people like, I just want to get to the finish line first. And you like, I want to win. Some people want to win and beat people by like a mile. Like
yeah,
there's a
yeah. I
difference
don't need to win
between
by
win.
50.
Yeah,
Let me win by I win by field goal. I'm good. All right.
exactly. Yes, I hear that. And I take that too. A victory is a victory. A W is a W. So however I get it, I'm fine with that. With that. Um, Thank you so much for the conversation. I appreciate it. I like having men here talking. I hear successful men talking about living life and their perspective and seeing things. Where can people find you? Social media, website, what you got going on? This is the time
Well,
for you to promote. Go for it.
I'm Andre the Farmer everywhere on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. I also have my company where we sell sustainably sourced apparel, permaculture life.
Mhm.
Ah, wrong.
Nice.
Permaculture life. So we have clothing made from recycled materials, from hemp, from bamboo, from all kinds of cool stuff. So check it out. We have seeds from my garden and cuttings from the garden sometimes there as well. And also, I have my talk show called Fire Talk. It's on Fire Talk TV One on YouTube. We have 2 episodes that are released. Last night at my house here, we had the screening for the third episode, and it is by far the best episode. Like this episode's got me so excited. Like it is
Okay.
so good. It's so funny. Like it's so much better than the first 2 episodes. Which really the first 2 episodes are like our fifth and sixth episode, but we didn't air the first couple because they weren't filmed the high level of quality that we needed. But this one, the picture quality is phenomenal. We had a real camera crew. It's spectacular. You got to check it out. That's Fire Talk TV One on YouTube.
All right. Fantastic.
And
Everything that he meant.
last
Oh, go
thing,
ahead. Go ahead.
Baptiste Orthodontics.
Yes.
BaptisteOrthodontics.com. If you want to
Definitely. All of that stuff will be in the episode notes. So just in case you didn't get to write it down, don't worry. Everything will be there. I'm going to go and find your show and watch it. It sounds like it's going to be interesting. Everything will be there. Thank you again for talking.
Thank
I
you for having
appreciate
me,
you.
Harvey.
Oh, no problem at all. Hang on for a moment. Thank you for watching another great episode, another great man to talk to and listen to and hear perspective and hear life about. I hope everything is going well for you. I hope you're communicating. I hope you're talking to the people around you. I hope you have a shoulder to cry on, and I hope you have a shoulder for somebody else to cry on. Be that guy. We need to be that person for each other. I hope you're doing that. Never forget that you are a wonderful person. You are a wonderful man, and somebody is waiting for you to call them, to show up, to laugh with them, to cry with them, to discuss things, to debate things. Somebody values your presence. So you have to show up. So you have to be here. We need you. We are men and we are consistently attempting suicide far more than the women in our lives. And we need to remember that our lives are valuable. So we have to stay here. So if nobody hasn't told you today, I value you. You are important and you need to be here today. You are a man. You are wonderful and you're the prize. I'll see you next week.